Hey there. Welcome to episode 44 of the Creative Train podcast. This one's looking a little bit different. This is just me in my studio here. This is different because it's not necessarily going to be anything terribly motivational or whatever, but I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate achieving 500 plus downloads of the Creative Train podcast so far. Now, this is just from the native site, Podbean, and I'm not sure how many streams have been accomplished at that point, but I just want to say thank you. And I am reading scripted here because I tend to go off script and I don't want to ramble as I do. All aboard. So no cuts, nothing fancy. But that was such a wonderful thing to see this morning. After so many of my peers, even my students, fellow educators, and even some parents of my music students tell me, you know what, you sound like you should do a podcast about this kind of stuff because you're so passionate. And I am. I'm not bragging. It's all I've ever done and all I've ever really done well. So they said I should start a podcast about learning and teaching in the arts. And I finally bit the bullet, and I'm really glad that I did. And not long after the seed of the podcast began to grow, I decided to go further and publish the creativetrain.ca website, which is for giving people like you access to people like me and my experience, things like my methods and my thoughts and approaches, my theories and motivations, and really it's about the ability to act one-on-one, face-to-face or virtually, and talk about your creative goals, and to learn new ways to keep your students inspired and engaged, but mostly to keep you as an artist and a creator motivated and productive. And it's funny because I've been asked why I make a differentiation between artists and creators. And I do that for a few reasons. In this social media driven world of short and sometimes long form videos that have become kind of our main source of entertainment and such, the term creator seems to be what's given to folks like me who do stuff and post things online. And even on my own YouTube channel, Resound Creative, which you can find as Resound and the number 7, Resound 7, I get promotional emails and stuff all the time from YouTube saying, creator, do this and whatever. And I wanted to create a distinction between a creator and an artist, because not all of what I do I would consider art. Yeah, I do music and poetry and voiceover work and stuff, but I've still made a few social commentary videos, and some of those things to me are things that I can do, but I wouldn't call them artistically inspired. There's a difference to me. And in that, I wasn't necessarily trying to make art that somebody would want to come back to and re-experience over and over again. But there is a part of me that does that. And you know it. Yes, I'm looking at you. How many of those short videos have you seen and enjoyed enough to watch again? And then maybe half an hour later, you've completely forgotten about it and will likely never go back to it. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I've done it. That's the distinction between making online content and making art for me. And that is what those bits of things are for. A laugh, maybe a cool way to see a use for an old tool, or something from your childhood you might find nostalgic, or maybe a quick life hack. Oh my God, I hate that term, life hack. So dumb. Anyway, those are fun, but I don't really think the inspiration from those comes from the mind and the heart of an artist. Hence the term creator. They create cool stuff and they do it really, really well. And it's fun and it's engaging for a moment or two. But it's largely AI-driven animations and thumbnail creations and scripting and sometimes camera foolery. And it's not really what I would call art. So who are the artists I'm talking about then? The artists are those who live to dream, and the artists are those who dream to live. Take a moment with that. And even with some of the most primitive tools and materials, they can bring those visions to life and bring true and lasting pleasure to your eyes, your ears, your mouths, your hearts. But the main drive behind those is their initial inspiration. Not necessarily to get a few more clicks or whatever. They are inspired to create something beautiful. Really, neither one of them is better or worse. They each have their place, but they are different. No? The term, it's funny, the term digital creator appeared on my own Facebook pages a few years ago, and I didn't ask for it. It just seemed to show up one day, and I'm like, okay. Because I guess they know what I do. I make music, I do audio stuff, I do video things and stuff like that. So they decided to call me a digital creator. And honestly, I'm okay with it because the blanket term is not really incorrect. I just see it a bit differently. So 500 downloads. I still find that really cool. And that's just from the one place that hosts the Creative Train podcast. I don't know about the streams on other platforms like Spotify or Apple or all of the rest of those places because I don't have enough engagement on my podcast to be privy to those details yet, but I think they should. I think if they gave everybody that creates things and puts things out there, whether it's art or just foolishness, let them see where their stuff has been viewed. Let them see all of it. It could be very inspiring. So, roundabout maybe the 15th episode, I was starting to run out of the ideas that I initially wrote down this one fervent afternoon in July of 2024. And I honestly started thinking, I was like, I might be good for another 10 episodes or so. I've said a lot of what I need to say. And yet here we are, almost 50 episodes later, and I have a backlog of guests. I have a backlog of ideas for at least another 100 episodes. I don't know. It has been really fun and totally inspiring for me and it's made me get into writing mode every day. Well, almost every day. But I've grown and honed my audio and video editing skills. Video's not my thing. And I've had the chance to talk with some really amazing artists and creators and had messages from people who are total strangers. And so far, the Creative Train podcast has listeners in Canada, which is where I am, the United States, England, Germany, Romania, Belgium, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. And that, for me, is something to be proud of. I'm proud of accomplishments, not anything else. I accomplish things, and if I like them, I'm proud of them. So I'm super proud to know that the reach has gone so far without me having the need to purchase marketing campaigns. Those annoying ads that you see in your social media. I haven't done that once. And just like all of the topics I get into here, everything here is my own lived experience as an artist and as an educator. There is nothing been made up or faked, because I wanted to see just how far the podcast could grow just using my own social media posts and having the word get out amongst people that get it, who are maybe searching for things like what I do. So I would like to really offer a huge thank you to everyone who has listened, downloaded, participated, liked, or shared anything I've done in this podcast. For a small guy like me, sorry, I had to do a weird edit there. For a small guy like me, it truly does mean a great deal to know that my experiences and the things that I find worthy of discussion, the things that are important to me and that I'm passionate about, are reaching people around the world, and that those things find some resonance in some minds and hearts. So if you would like to be a guest here, let me know. Hit me up. Let's talk about what makes you as an artist and a creator tick. What gets you going? What makes you move? What inspires you and what keeps you going? Or if you know someone that you think might be a good guest on this topic of art and creation and integrity and educating people, let me know. You can reach out through the creativetrain.ca website. It's contact@creativetrain.ca. Comment on this podcast or video wherever you find it. And lastly, again, I want to thank you for your encouragement and support so far. Thank you.